You cursed woman, have you given birth to another Ashawo? You're a disgrace to this family. I wonder why my brother married you when you cannot give him a son. Useless thing. Ozoemena's husband's brother yelled at her after she gave birth to her seventh daughter, Nkoroma. Ozoemena wept bitterly as society's harsh words, especially from her husband's brothers, pierced her heart. The constant ridicule and desire for a son weighed heavily on Ozoemena. She prayed fervently, seeking divine intervention. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please kindly subscribe. Thank you. Once upon a time in Umuoka, a village nestled among rolling hills and vibrant greenery, lived a young man named Onyejuwa. Onyejuwa was orphaned at a tender age. He was the only survivor of his family, a burden that weighed heavily on his soul. Fearful of the fate that had claimed his parents and siblings, he made up his mind to leave his village, hoping to escape the shadow of death that seemed to follow him. Onyejuwa worked tirelessly, saving every penny he could, with one goal in mind: to marry Udemwe, the love of his life, and start anew in the distant city. Udemwe was the first daughter of Onwa, the famous town crier in Umuoka village. Onwa was known because his voice was as loud as the thunder. The villagers appointed him as the town crier, a responsibility he took pride in. Aside from being a town crier, he was a hard-working farmer who worked very hard to provide for his family. Onyejuwa often worked on his farm in exchange for money and farm produce. One day, as Onyejuwa was working on Onwa's farm, on a very sunny afternoon, Udemwe came to the farm to bring lunch for her father, Onwa, and met Onyejuwa. It was love at first sight. As their eyes locked together, Onyejuwa knew that he had found the one. Unknown to them, Onwa saw the looks on their faces and smiled. As an elder, he knew what it meant and decided to use it to his advantage. He briefly interrupted them, took his food from Udemwe, and immediately sent her back home. When he got home, he instructed his wife to allow only Udemwe to bring him lunch on the farm. Every day, Udemwe would bring lunch to her father's farm, and because of her constant visits, Onyejuwa accepted to work for Onwa full-time. Onwa exploited Onyejuwa and paid him little money. Onyejuwa was aware of Onwa's exploitation, but he was too in love with Udemwe, his daughter, to leave his farm. Soon, their love grew stronger, and Onyejuwa summoned the courage to inform Onwa about his intentions to marry his daughter. Onwa seized that opportunity to exploit him more and compelled him to provide twice the items on the marriage lists. Onyejuwa, being hardworking, worked twice as hard and was able to provide everything for the wedding to take place. After a modest wedding, Onyejuwa and Udemwe moved to the city called Esoko. Esoko was a beautiful place, but it was also known for mysticism and witchcraft. But to Onyejuwa, it promised a fresh start, far from the haunting memories of his past. Onyejuwa and Udemwe's love blossomed in Esoko. Soon, Onyejuwa's hard work paid off, and he was able to provide a decent life for his family. Their happiness seemed complete when Udemwe gave birth to their first child, a baby boy. But joy quickly turned to sorrow when their son died mysteriously. Not quite long after, Udemwe fell pregnant again and gave birth to another son who suffered the same fate, leaving them heartbroken and desperate for answers. Onyejuwa's friend Ese, a native of Esoko, noticed their distress and took them to a local seer. The seer revealed that their next-door neighbor, a witch, who always visited after each birth, was responsible for their children's deaths. The seer advised them to chase her away if she came again, and to return to him with a cup as part of their payment once their next child was born or faced the consequences. Following the seer's guidance, Udemwe confronted the witch when she came after the birth of their third child, a girl named Ozoemena, meaning evil should not happen again. Scared but determined to protect their daughter, Onyejiwa and Udemo fled Eseko in haste, forgetting their promise to the seer. Years passed, and Ozoemena grew into a diligent and beautiful young woman, the pride of her family. Despite being the only daughter in the midst of boys, Onyejiwa and Udemo instilled in her the values of hard work and resilience. At the age of 21, Ozoemena met Sonny, a brilliant but poor teacher. Sonny was a young man with a bright future, and because of Ozoemena's love for education, she chose him amongst all the other suitors. Her mother Udemo was not in support of the marriage because Sonny was poor, but Onyejiwa supported his daughter, having suffered the same fate. He encouraged her to follow her heart. Sonny introduced Ozoemena to his father, who felt that Ozoemena was too sophisticated for his son because she was very pretty and from a wealthy family. Sonny was able to convince his father that Ozoemena is very homely and hardworking. Both families saw that their love was strong and inseparable and gave their consent. With the help of friends and family, they celebrated a humble wedding. Ozoemena soon fell pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful hairy daughter named Nasa. A few years later, she gave birth to another daughter named Oluchi. After the birth of Oluchi, she gave birth to a set of twin girls called Olachi and Olamma. After the birth of the twin girls, Sonny began to worry, and soon Sonny's brother began to murmur and disrespect Sonny, telling him that he's not man enough. The arrogance and disrespect meted out to Ozoemena were out of the world. They called her several names and regarded her daughters as insignificant things. Ozoemena became depressed and sad. Even though Sonny loved and cherished her, it was not enough to make her happy. Ozoemena was confused, but determined to try again, and still gave birth to a baby girl, and the insults became worse. She tried again, and still gave birth to a baby girl. Ozoemena wept bitterly when she gave birth to her seventh daughter, Mporoma. Her husband's brother came to hurl insults at her, and regarded her daughters as prostitutes, stating that their family isn't known for this. He went ahead to encourage Sonny's younger brother, Amobi, to get married quickly and produce grandsons for their aged father, stating that Sonny had married a cursed woman. That day, Sonny could no longer hold his anger, and he pounced on his brother Amechi for insulting him and his family. Ozoemena was drowning in misery and sorrow, and one fateful afternoon, when everyone had left, Ozoemena came outside with tears in her eyes and sorrows in her heart. Facing the sun, she called upon God to change her situation and wept bitterly. However, society's harsh words, especially from Sonny's brothers, pierced her heart. The constant ridicule and the desire for his son weighed heavily on Ozoemena. She prayed fervently, seeking divine intervention. During a visit from her mother, Udemo revealed a long-kept secret, the unfulfilled promise to the seer in Esoko. Anger and frustration filled Ozoemena, who demanded that her parents rectify their mistake. Udemo and Onyejiwa returned to Esoko, searching for the seer, and to their greatest dismay, they were told that the seer had died a few years ago, but his son had taken over. Finding the seer's son, who knew of their plight even before they spoke, they fulfilled their promise, offering the cock and performing the necessary rites. Freed from the curse, Ozoemena soon fell pregnant. Her joy knew no bounds when she gave birth to a son, naming him Ihaichi, meaning nothing is impossible with God. The birth of Ihaichi was celebrated far and wide, breaking the curse and bringing peace and happiness to their family once more. The celebration of Ihaichi's birth went on for weeks. Friends, family members, and even enemies gathered to celebrate. Ozoemena, determined to ensure that the curse had been broken, decided to get pregnant again. But Sonny discouraged her, fearing that it might be another girl. Ozoemena went with her gods and gave birth to another son, proving that indeed the curse had been broken. Ozoemena's story is a poignant reminder of the power of promises and the strength of faith. It illustrates how love and determination can overcome the darkest of curses, and how the fulfillment of even the smallest promises can have profound effect on our lives. In the end, nothing is truly impossible with God, and Ozoemena's story stands as a testament to this eternal truth. Thanks for watching, and kindly subscribe to this channel and press the notification bell to get notified anytime I drop a new video. Thank you, and see you in the next one.